My name's Alexie McNerthney. I'm a faculty member for the biology department here at Portland Community College, the Sylvania campus. And last June I had the opportunity to travel to Costa Rica and Nicaragua for the CIEE faculty tours. And the focus of that trip last year was about sustainability. In Costa Rica, there are regions that are set aside as what are called zoned reserves. They're similar to wildlife refuges in the United States, and they are protected to maintain the biodiversity of that region. So Costa Rica is considered a biological hotspot and includes a lot of important species that are recognized as important around the world. So there's a disproportionate number of endemic species there, species that occur nowhere else in the world. One of the things that I took away from this trip was that people often, when they talk about sustainability, they talk about people, planet, and profit, the triple bottom line. And I realized that that's not just a theory or just a saying. It's really true that the infrastructure needs to be set up so that the people can continue to live on the land. They need to be able to make a profit. And so, adjacent to some of those zoned reserves, there are regions that are used for farming. And the way that those farms are managed really determines the success of those adjoining zoned reserves. If you look at this slide here, you can see there's a coffee plantation in rows on this hillside, but there's also a corridor just above that coffee plantation where the trees are left in place so that animals can travel through these safe corridors. And the coffee is planted in a way that prevents erosion, so they're planted horizontally along the landscape here. You know, the other focus of our trip there was to learn how Costa Rica is economically trying to sustain themselves by relying on their natural resources to provide for ecotourism. One region of Costa Rica is the Monteverde cloud forest, which is a very unique ecosystem. There is a lot of productivity with regard to the growth of plants, and so when you go through the cloud forest, you see plants growing on plants. You see orchids and mosses and ferns. Every bit of space is taken up by a living organism. It's very lush and green. It's very wonderful to be there and experience that. They also have lots of research that's going on, biological research. Right now they're doing many long-term studies on the effects of climate change on that region, so that was interesting to hear about as well. And I really enjoyed seeing some of the birds and small mammals and insects and exotic orchids and things like that that I've been able to talk to my students about, or maybe show them slides from textbook sources, but now I have my own slides to share, and so that's really wonderful for me to have that first-hand perspective now that I can share with my students. We traveled to Nicaragua by boat, and so we got to see this wonderful riparian habitat, the habitat that's adjacent to the river. So on the banks of the river, we were able to see a lot of species that you wouldn't normally see if you were hiking through the jungle because of the interface with the water there. And so yes, we saw some lizards. The Jesus Christ lizard, the one that walks on water, was a lot of fun for us to see. We saw howler monkeys, and we saw many species of birds, and the jungle is just alive with noise. It was really wonderful to experience that. After our visit to Nicaragua, we went back to Costa Rica and we took a dugout canoe trip to a small village where the Bribri tribe lives. They harvest cacao and they produce chocolate from that cacao. We were taken on a walk through the forest, and so the cacao trees are not in plantations or in rows like you would traditionally think. They're just scattered throughout the forest. And so we picked a fruit, opened it up, saw what this looked like, and then we went to the center of their village, and they provided us this fabulous lunch that, of course, included chocolate. So that was very wonderful. But we talked with the village people and found out that there is a fungus that is spreading through this region, and it is attacking the cacao trees. and it's not certain what the future will be for this village as this fungus spreads through this region. And it really highlighted for me as a biologist, this is an example of how an organism, a fungus, can really determine the historical fate of a group of people. And so it's sobering. I would like to learn that they will find a solution for this fungal disease at some point. That would be something that would make me very happy. But we recognize it for what it is, and it's definitely a problem. I really noticed how tied the people of Costa Rica are with their natural resources, how much they rely on them directly. Of course, we all rely on natural resources around the world. The connectedness is very direct there. I would imagine you could ask anyone in Costa Rica, where does your food come from? And they would be able to tell you. And they also, of course, recognize the importance of preserving their resources and their abundant biodiversity as a survival. Since ecotourism is such a big part of it, it's very important to them. And so that was interesting to see. I was moved by how friendly everybody was. My Spanish is very, very limited, but everybody that I met took the time to try to communicate with me. Everybody's just very warm and friendly and wonderful, so I had a wonderful time.